Watch the entire video, my lovely viewers, I mean from start to finish, to get the whole thing. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into it.
Yeah, so everybody who knows me will tell you that I normally say that even for a pregnancy, right? The same way I hate men that abandon children, the same way I hate irresponsible men, I hate women that falsely accuse a man that this man is the owner of this child, and yet they know very well that this is not a man. So on both sides, we need to be serious. You know, no wonder when something happens, first and foremost, I like to sit back and ask critical questions, you know. So number one, the issue of the DP, because, you know, we are all in politics. You know, we're all in politics, and certain things are not a party issue, they are a national issue. You know, they affect every one of us. And the issue is this: most of us have talked about sexual harassment, for example, in political parties, that it's rife. It's a fact. In Zambia, there's high sexual harassment in political parties. There's high sexual harassment at universities and colleges, schools. We all know those things, you know, but there are certain elements that we should all look at before we say, okay, did this really happen and did this really not happen? So you need to get back or get down to the issues and find out critical questions of things that really happened. For example, when I heard about that rape issue of the DP, I said this: I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I spoke to Judith Kabemba. We should have met in the past few days, and that's another thing that even delayed me. Actually, we spoke. No, my sister, I need to talk to you. Blah blah blah. Yeah, oh, yes, let's talk and everything, because this issue, I want to find out the truth. You know, but sadly, that meeting has in politics has not been picking up my phone thing, and I've not gotten a word from her, you know. So for me, I said I'll go ahead, you know. I don't want to misrepresent anybody and anything, but the issue is this: I've been trying to get a hold of her, and I'm sure you saw the photos again. Even just a few days ago, I called her, and I called President Kalaba as well to say I want to talk to you about this issue, you know. So even him, I had an opportunity to talk to him. So both, I can safely say I spoke to them, both Judith on the phone and Honorable Kalaba both on the phone and in person. So yeah, so that's the number one issue. By the time a rape is happening, I think all of us women can testify to this. It's not easy to be raped. Okay, it's not easy to be raped. You have to fight for your life. You have to do this. You have to do that. And those are the things I wanted to ask my sister Judith Kabemba. For example, how many times did it happen? Are you getting the point? Did it happen once, and then he told you again, come to my office or house, whatever it is, and you went there again and it happened twice, 3, 5 times? You get the point. So we need to find out all those things, you know, because rape, really, it's a big issue. I have a daughter. I don't want my daughter to ever be raped. Are you getting the point? Including myself as a woman and other women out there. But number two, I have sons. Okay, I've got 2 sons. I don't ever want my 2 sons to be falsely accused of anything. So this issue is an issue that we need to talk about, you know. And however, when I read what she said later on, I discovered that in as much as she said the leader, this and that, she never mentioned President Kalaba. By the way, in her write-up herself, she wrote all those things, talked about our leader, whatever, but having been the running mate of the party, when she talked about my boss or my leader, or whatever it is, everybody just goes, that's another situation there. Maybe she didn't, excuse me, there goes the bad network again. Yeah, so maybe she didn't mean him. So for me, those are all the issues that I wanted to find out from my sister, to say, is it really him that you're talking about or somebody else? Because if really that happened, we want to stand with you, and we want to escort you to the police to go and report that matter, because like I said earlier on, rape is a serious issue. And no wonder, even when we are mentoring young girls or other women, we tell them, when you are raped, there are things to do. By the way, you just don't get raped, my sister Kabemba, and then the following day you go ahead and campaign for the man to be president of the country, because we're all over the country campaigning for this man to be president of the country. So if it's true he raped you, you'd have been raping all of us if he become president, you know. So there are so many questions that I want to ask, you know. Yeah, so that's it. Those are the things to do when you're raped. Don't bath. Immediately you're raped, go to the police, get a police report, go to the hospital. After the hospital, then you open your dockets and everything, and that person can be arrested, or rather should be arrested. And then I've helped and do this. Oh my goodness me, as I do, let me find this. Let me do this. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. My internet has been horrible the whole day, so I really pray that I won't lose you as we get on with this whole thing. Yes. Yeah, it was telling me to finish their live, but I couldn't do that. Oh my goodness, the people have even have lost out some people as we did that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. So that's the situation when somebody has been raped. There are many things that a person has to do. We tell this to girls, we tell this to women. Once you're raped, you report to the police. And apart from the fact that you can be pregnant as a woman, there's an issue of HIV and AIDS. In case a person, maybe they're not on contraceptive, they have to there are certain things that they do at the hospital, they give them so that they prevent anti-pregnancies. Number two, they also put on PEP, that's a post-exposure prophylaxis. That is an antiretroviral drug. It's an ARV. So they give you that to make sure that you don't get HIV. So in the next 1 month, you take that drug to prevent all those things. So those are the questions that I would have loved to ask my sister. Did you do all those things when a rape occurred? And also you said other people in the party experienced that. So where those women, can they tell us exactly what happened? So for me, like I said, I support women like fully. No wonder even this, I think earlier on I said, this has been a rough week for women, because at the end of the day, I want to support women, but there are certain stories that come out and just say, okay, let's hold on and look at this, And then I'll talk about sexual harassment, for example. Sexual harassment does not only mean that physical kind of harassment for a woman, or the rape or whatever it is. Sexual harassment comes in so many ways. And for me, that's what I know, which is rife in our political parties. I've never heard not even one woman being raped in these political parties. So some of these things, again, we need to be careful with what we say, because you don't want, again, maybe people getting scared. If I join politics, they rape women and you can't go anywhere. No, anybody who is raped has a right to report the same procedures that you report when you're raped anywhere else. Even as a politician, you have to do that as a woman. So this story, trust me, it has been very, very hard for most of us to believe it. It's very hard to believe. And like I said, as a person that supports women, as a woman comes out, my training, my one, support the woman. I just naturally do that. But we are not going to do that what is this? I'm not going to do that all because somebody is a woman. It's about looking at the truth. What really is the truth here? What really is the truth? And then we do what? We look at that. So like I've said, I think my sister Kabemba, no, that is not right. That story is not right. That story is not right. And for me also, like I said, because you didn't mention anybody apart from alluding to the fact that the person you're talking about is the president of the party. Because had you actually mentioned a name to say, okay, it's Honorable Kalaba or this or that, I could have even said President Kalaba and then court so that it can bear them court. Because when you go to court, they ask certain questions, okay, this is what happened. Features on a person, this is and that. They'll ask you those questions so that when it goes to court, you get the truth. So really, if it's him or somebody else, as women, we're telling you right now, we're here for you, okay? We're here for you. We shall escort you to the police. So this matter deserves the attention that it should get. Otherwise this, no, because like we always say in politics or school or whatever it is, sexual harassment is a big issue, and we should not trivialize things, because now even the people that have real causes, real situations, people won't be believing. They'll be saying, everybody, women just do this, they just say this. We shouldn't get to that level. I'll give you an example of Unza, for example. There was one lecturer who was actually convicted last week, Austin, only because the case was concluded. So there's no what do you call it, concept of court. When the sexual harassment case was going on in court, I kept on telling people to say, this person started doing that the time we were students at Unza. Okay, and I had a talk with Unza students the other time, and I told them, this girl was appearing in court. If you have a number, give her my number. Okay, give her my number. Give support every time she's appearing in court. Please be with her, because that man, sorry to say, he did that even the time we were students. Some of us had to go and report him. Today I can even tell you right now to say that man really, even the court finding him guilty, they did a good thing. It's a fact. Some of us can testify, and that's what I was been telling the students. Say this person was doing this to us when we were students, and we reported him. You know, today I can go live today on Facebook and tell you to say the man that was convicted there really was guilty of that, because the university has got the records. And that's what I was even telling the students there to say, the university has got records that this person really did this in the past. And according to the University of Zambia rules, the second time you do it, it's instant dismissal. So for me, I would even be shocked that he's still there as a lecturer, because one of the things that they need to do is dismiss him, you know, instantly. So because these matters are serious, we take them very, very seriously. You know, we take them very, very seriously. And that is why today we are saying that at the end of the day, if certain things really happen, you follow certain procedures, or you do certain things to make sure that the culprit is brought to book. As of now, I have seen quite a number of women that have talked about this, and not because the women don't want to support, but because it's just difficult to do what, to just believe what you said. So my sister, like I said, I'd have loved to go live after you and I have spoken, but because you've not been answering my calls the past few days, I had no choice but just to go ahead. So that's the situation, you know. And also, just to say this, like I said earlier, on, you know, sexual harassment, it's not only about physical, it's words, you know. There are things, for example, in Zambia here, they don't understand that sexual harassment even occurs on the internet. You know, so for example, when some of us are talking those sexual comments that some people talk because you're a woman, that is sexual harassment. If I wanted to be serious today, if the women out there wanted to be serious, this thing of reporting people for cyber bullying, can actually report them for sexual harassment. That is the kind of sexual harassment that we are talking about. And sexual harassment has to be unwanted, it has to be persistent, it has to meet all those elements. Let me say this. Where there are big people, for example, people normally have attractions to each other. As a woman, mwamuna kufuna, you say yes, then tomorrow you start crying, oh, I was sexually harassed. It doesn't work like that. Whether mafuna nasi munafunane, and then later on you change the story as a woman, it's normally so clear because people look at the circumstances which led to that. Because sexual harassment is a power kind of crime. Let me even describe sexual harassment. Like I said, it's unwanted, it's persistent, all those things, and it's a power thing. A student can never sexually harass a lecturer, but a lecturer can sexually harass a student, because for it to qualify to be sexual harassment, once somebody comes after you, somebody who's in a higher position, then they start using that to take away certain things that you're supposed to have. You know, so you find that some people are supposed to be, let's say, a leader, you know, is supposed to maybe adopted for this or that, and then you say no, they take that away from you, you know. But for me, the fact that again you were the vice president, the running mate of the DP, a lot of questions arise from that. So to people out there, sexual harassment comes in, for example, you have gone for a job interview, and then the person insists that for you to get the job, you need to have sex with that person. That is sexual harassment, because they're using their power to disadvantage you over something that you even qualify for. You know, so I think I'll take time next time to talk strictly about sexual harassment, so that we really go step by step in terms of what sexual harassment is all about. And we talk about this all the time in political parties, but to hear that a woman has been raped, trust me, I have never, not even once, heard of that. Because just like anywhere else, when a woman is raped, you do have your rights to stand up from where you are, go to the police, go to the hospital, and ensure that you report. You know.
Alright, that's all for you today, lovely viewers. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about the video you just watched in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you, lovely viewers. Once again, I go by the name of Mutati Mpundu. I love you, peace, I gotta go.
Audio